Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. How are you guys doing today? Okay, so I have so many things to tell you. Yesterday was such a busy day. I have so many really exciting things. No, I do. I have some really exciting things to tell you. But before I get into it, well, let's do a time and temperature check. And then I'm going to do a live review for you guys. I guess this is really no different than if I was doing a review on my review channel. Because it's not really live and I'll be posting this later. But I rarely, sometimes, but rarely do reviews on my vlog channel. But something just came in the mail. Well, a kind of coffee just came that I ordered, and I've never had this kind of coffee before, and I'm really, really excited about it, and I just made it in my, it's not really a Christmas cup, and I have these like in purple and brown and all different colors, but I call it my Christmas cup, and it's a Christmas coffee, and so I thought I would do a live review on here and let you guys know what I think of it. But before we do, let's do a little time and temperature check. I have my blanket out here. It's not super cold today, actually. I probably don't need this blanket. It's not super cold. But it is chilly enough and there's a little bit of a breeze that I'm like, you know what? I want to be comfy. I want to be comfy and cozy. So I'm going to bring my blanket out here. Every time I take it inside and I like fold it up and I put it in the inside closet where we keep our coats, Alex is always like, he's like, that you use that blanket quite a bit. And I was like, I do. I love this blanket. The only thing I don't like is this tag that hangs off the end of it. Anyway, okay. There, we'll just tuck the tag underneath there. So, time and temperature check. It is currently 2:38 p.m. I always try to remember in my head because, you know, the vlog stops so many times. The tripod falls, somebody walks by and they ask me a question and I stop the camera or I have to go inside and get a battery change. So I always try to remember, like, when I started vlogging, but then it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's 2:38 p.m. I'm going to look at the temperature. It was actually supposed to be in the 60s today. I just stood outside and talked to my neighbor, the gardener, for probably a good half an hour. It's 56 degrees today. It's 56 degrees today. And all of the ferns, you want to see all the ferns? Okay. All the ferns are right here, lined up. They all got watered last night. And I'm going to water them again today, and then I'm going to take them inside tonight because tomorrow, Tanya and I were talking about last night. We were talking about taking our plants in. That's what an exciting conversation it was. Anyway, tomorrow it's supposed to be, I said, Tanya, it's supposed to be like 40 on Sunday. She goes, I heard 20s. I go, well, it's supposed to get into the 20s like in the middle of the night. She goes, so it's not just supposed to be like 20 on like Sunday afternoon. I go, no, it's supposed to be like in the 40s. So tomorrow it's supposed to be 44. It says like windy. Cloudy with gusty winds developing during the afternoon. A few flurries or snow showers possible. Oh my God! I can't believe it. So anyway, that's Sunday. And then, oh, Monday. Oh, it says snow. Oh! Monday is 36 for a high. And snow showers before noon. Becoming part, we'll have to get up earlier that day so I can enjoy the snow showers. I mean, I get up and take the dogs out, but then we go back to bed for a little while. And then Tuesday, 42 overcast. Tuesday, I'm going to, I think it was Tuesday that Alex asked me last night. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. So last night was actually Alex getting together, deciding what they're doing for his friend's bachelorette party. I thought it was tonight, but it was actually last night. And so then afterwards, he went over to his friend's house for a little while. And he was texting me about this, I think it was this Tuesday night, yeah, for his friend's birthday. He was like, do you want to come? And I said, yeah, sure. So, but he always lets me know. He's like, what did he say on here? Significant others are coming. Because I always ask. I'm like, well, are like the partners coming and stuff like that? So, anyway, so that's Tuesday night. Okay, are you guys ready for this coffee? I'm so excited. The box is so beautiful. Now, I have to tell you my memory of this. Okay, it's Harry and David's, I think it's a brand, right? Yeah, Harry and David's. Now, I remember as a kid, so my dad, like, from other doctors that he worked with and stuff like that, at Christmas, I don't know why, I feel like my mom, maybe they sent one to my mom and one to my dad, I don't know why, but they were, you know, separated or divorced at that point. But I can remember we would get these, like, do you guys remember, like, the box of fruit that you would get, like, I can remember getting them, like, there was a couple years where we got like one a month. And it was like you would open a box. Isn't that Harry and David's? Am I wrong? I need to look this up. But I feel like it was like you would open, like January would be oranges. And so you'd open a box. It would be like 12 oranges or something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Is that Harry and David's? I know I'm going to look it on here. It's like Fruit of the Month Club. I remember my dad back in the day like getting those as like presents from like other doctors and stuff like that. Oh, look, it shows Royal Riviera pears shipping now. So it must be that. Is there like a Fruit of the Month Club? Gift baskets and boxes. Let's look and see. Gift towers. Gifts with wine. All gifts in boxes. Shop gifts in boxes. Let's look. It was kind of like, oh, see, this is why I remember it. Because the box was that, it had that green on the cardboard of it. It was kind of like, do you guys remember Pepperidge Farms in the mall? Oh my God, I loved there. They always had so many samples. My friends and I, we would walk around the mall in high school and be like, we're hungry, let's go to Pepperidge Farms. It was kind of like Pepperidge Farms, but like a lot nicer. Okay, anyway, I saw this coffee online. I looked for like new Christmas coffee. It probably came out 10 years ago. But I looked for like new Christmas coffee online. And I found this one. And this is Harry and David's Harry's Christmas Blend Single Serve Coffee. Are y'all ready for this? First of all, the box is so beautiful, which doesn't matter because I put it in my little drawers anyway. Butterscotch Caramel. Oh my God, look at this. Butterscotch Caramel. And I don't know how many. It doesn't say. There's no story. Oh, there is a story. Only select 100% coffee beans grown and harvested by hand on small estates around the world are used. The beans are expertly roasted. Begins with aroma. Okay, it doesn't talk anything about the... But anyway, how many are in here? 18. So I just used my first one. My first little K-Pod. Okay. By the way, Nikki finally got a Keurig. Well, they've had them in the past, and she wanted to get a new one, and she's been putting it off forever. She's like, I need to get one, but she likes to make a pot of coffee. Tanya likes to make a pot of coffee too. Tanya uses her Keurig for other stuff like teas and whatever. And Tanya's not like a big she's more of a fountain pot person. But if she's gonna make coffee, she's gonna make a pot of coffee. Nikki makes like a pot of coffee. Everybody that I know makes, like my sponsor, she's got Keurigs and all kinds of stuff, but she likes to make a pot of coffee. Everybody that I know likes to make a pot of coffee. Anyway, are you ready? But Nikki finally got a Keurig yesterday. I was so proud of her. She sent me a picture of her husband holding it up in the store. And I was like, he was like holding it. It was so funny. And I don't know what I said, but I said about time or something like that. Okay, so this is the Harry's Butterscotch Caramel. Are you ready? Okay. Oh, it's good. It doesn't... It's interesting, like, with these flavored coffees, like a Cafe Pas de Choux. Like, if it's blueberry crumble... I'm gonna open this and see if it smells. Are you ready for the steam of it all? One day, I kept on holding it up. Not one person commented and said, I see the steam, Peter. Because I was like, do you guys see the steam? There's not really any steam coming off of it. Well, there's a little bit. But anyway. What does it remind me of? It's a really good cup of coffee. It's giving me more butter. It's like it's kind of smoky. It's not like heavily flavored. It's not like you'd be like, oh, this tastes like... I always think it's going to taste like a butterscotch candy. It's like kind of like smoky butterscotch. It's definitely more butterscotch than it is caramel. This is really, really good. But it's not like if somebody handed you this coffee, you would literally just think it was like a regular cup of coffee. You wouldn't think it was like flavored or anything like that. Now I've got all these blankets and coats on and stuff like that. I'm drinking this coffee and I'm hot. This is really good, you guys. Oh, this is really, really good. This might be my new favorite. What is she out there doing? I thought you just closed your garage door. Now you're out there working. The tripod fell while I was putting my coffee over there, and then I was talking to my neighbor, asking her what she was doing out here because she closed her garage door. Well, what are you working on today?
Changing light bulbs in the lights out here.
Oh. When are you going to change your Halloween lights up there?
Well, those are fall lights.
Oh, they're fall lights. She's got this bush out by her front door, and it's got like purple lights on it. What makes them fall lights?
Colors.
Well, it's purple.
Well, purple and orange and green.
Now, don't be telling none of the gossip in the neighborhood.
What?
Don't be telling none of the gossip in the neighborhood that we were talking about. We were talking about all the gossip in the... I don't have any more, do you? We were... she said to me, she goes, we were standing out there just talking. And somebody like ran by us, and we both kind of looked, and she goes, there's some weird ones in this neighborhood. So then we started telling stories about stuff that we knew about the neighbor, like not just like current stuff, but all kinds of stuff. And I said, you know what the truth is? I said, we're probably the weird ones in the neighborhood. She goes, we probably are. Because that's why I don't mess with them people. And then, so her friend, who is like, so she lived in here first, and that was like one of the reasons why they wanted to move in here. Not because her friend didn't live in here, but they liked the neighborhood because she would come over here and see her friend. She's the one that walks by, and she always talks to me about pickleball, and I'll be like, did you get pickled? That's her friend. And so she was mentioning a couple people, and I was like, well, but I said her name, I didn't say your friend. I said, she's kind of friends with, because she was talking, she's like, well, this woman's weird, and that woman's weird. It was a real funny conversation. And I go, your friend. I didn't say your friend. I said, you know, so-and-so's kind of friends with some of the weird ones around. She goes, she sure is. She's like, she likes to do all the activities. She goes, but I got friends outside this neighborhood. She goes, so I don't need to be friends with everybody in this neighborhood. So anyway, that was our conversation earlier today. So the coffee review, okay, this is very, very good. But yeah, like when I go to Cafe Pat a Shoot and it's like coconut cream or blueberry crumble, it like might smell faintly like that, but it truly just, and don't call me truly brown. I can't not say that when I say truly and don't call me, I cannot, like I just can't not say it now because I say it. I even say it like in my personal life if I'm talking on the phone. The only thing is like everybody that in my personal life, well except for my husband, knows who Truly Brown is. But anyway, so, what was I going to say? Yeah, like, a lot of these coffees, like, when I go to Cafe Pat a Shoot, this is what I was saying. Like, blueberry crumble, coconut cream, things like that. Like, there might be, like, a faint flavor to it. I know when I say this, people will be like, well, that's how I like it. Well, I do, too. But every once in a while, like, if it says blueberry crumble, to be honest with you, like, the blueberry crumble ones for me that I like are the ones that really taste like blueberry crumble. Like... not like, I mean, if you want like a heavy taste like that, then you should just get blueberry crumble cream, and then the creamer adds the taste to it. But I also think that like, my mom back in the day, I can remember I would come over here, this is like when there were no flavored coffees out there at all. And do you guys remember when you would get like, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but there would be like, you get these little packages of like ground coffee. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That would come like that. And my mom would get so excited because she would go to the grocery store and for like 99 cents, you could pick your flavor. Well, there was only like 3 flavors back there. It was like vanilla, hazelnut, and something. My mom loved hazelnut, which is probably my least favorite flavor of creamer, is hazelnut. But I would come into the house, and my mom would be like, I have hazelnut coffee. And she'd be like, I bought it at the store today. And then she'd be like, can you smell it? I'm like, no. She gets so excited about those little packs of hazelnut coffee. I always bought them. So... until my mom passed away, we did stockings our whole life. And so, like, when I would come over here on Christmas Day, I think it was Christmas Day I would come over here, maybe it was Christmas, well, I came over here both days, but I would fill her stocking real quick when she was looking the other way, and then we would do our stocking. So, like, she would be like, Santa came, filled your stocking. So, on Christmas Day, so we did stockings. So, I would put, like, that coffee and stuff in. Speaking of stockings, Alex said I kind of stopped doing stockings a while ago. We did it for a couple years, and then we kind of stopped doing it. But the way that I grew up doing stockings was, there was like certain things that, so like Alex, he was telling me, they would like put their stockings out, and then they would go to mass on Christmas Eve. So his family's tradition, which is, I guess, a lot of people in Venezuela celebrate it this way, not everybody, but a lot of people do. Like, it's Venezuelan tradition that like you celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, which is why we always do a bunch of stuff with his family on Christmas Eve and Caroline on Christmas Day. They don't really celebrate a lot on Christmas Day in his family. And And so what he would say is, like, as a kid growing up in Venezuela, that, like, they would put their stockings out and stuff like that, and then they would go to, like, midnight mass and church and whatever, and then when they came back, like, Santa had come. And so that's, like, why, like, to this day, like, whenever we do, like, gift exchanges or Santa comes, like, Santa flies over the house and rings the doorbell and stuff like that. And so then the presents are out in the yard, and anyway, it's real cute. So Santa comes it's always at midnight. So, like, if you're looking at your clock, the doorbell's going to go off at midnight. It's always at midnight. And Alex grew up like that when they were at church, then Santa would come while he, like, and then they would come home, and it's like, oh my God, Santa. So they'd be at church, and they'd be like, is Santa coming? Is Santa coming? So, and then it was, like, this big party afterwards and stuff like that. And they would, like, go to the beach a lot. Like, Alex talks about going to Margarita Island and Caracas and stuff like that, or outside of Caracas. And that's where they would spend a lot of, like it was like a celebration. Like, for me, I feel like a lot of our Christmases are kind of like Christmas Eve is candlelit and very soft and quiet. And even Christmas Day is kind of, like, there's almost kind of like a sad quality to it a little bit. You know, like, after the presents are open, it's not like that with his family. Like, and the music is completely different too. Like, I can remember, like, his mom, like, playing, like, a lot of, like, Venezuelan Christmas music to me. It sounds like, I mean, not like in the club dance music, but it sounds like, you know, kind of like old school, like, you know, Venezuelan dance music. And it's more of a celebration, like, you're celebrating the birth of Christ and stuff like that, which, I mean, we're doing here, but there's, like, a sadness to it, I think. Like, I think Christmas here just kind of, and I love, like, the snow and the prettiness of it and all that kind of stuff, but there's, like, a sadness. Like, his family on Christmas, well, this year, we're all so excited because, so Jessie and Fufu, like, they switch Christmases back and forth between her family and his family, and so this year they're coming home, and so it'll be, like, a big, huge celebration, because this is, like, the grandson's first Christmas kind of thing. It's gonna be really fun. So, yeah, so, anyway, what was I saying about Christmas? Oh, but when I was growing up, and the way that we would, like, do stockings and stuff when I was growing up was that, and so I would do it for my mom as I got older, too. We usually put cologne or perfume in the stocking. Like, when I was growing up, my mom would buy, like, one nice present, and that would be in the stocking. And then, like, the rest of it, like, she would always put an orange in the stocking. And then, like, the bag of those, like, gold coins that are chocolate, that was always in the stocking, too. Somebody just text me. And there'd be other little candies and stuff in there and whatever. You know, maybe, like, a tape cassette or something. But mostly the stocking was, like, it was all, like, just, like, candy. And my mom always put an orange in there. Is that, like, a thing? I don't know. But anyway, she always put an orange in there. And then, but there would be, like, one nice gift in there. It was usually, like, as I got older, it was usually cologne every year that she would buy me, like, whatever cologne I was wearing or whatever cologne she found for me or whatever. But sometimes it would be, like, I'm trying to think of, like, what she would put in a stocking. My neighbor just walked up, and I'm like, where is... I was, like, looking to see, I was like, you're walking by yourself again. And I was like, did you go back to the dentist today? But then I saw the leash, like, behind you.
He's leading me, right?
He's lagging behind. Oh, you know what is going on? Why he's right there? So, when we had the guys out here yesterday working on our patio door, one of them was eating popcorn, walking back and forth, because Walter and Otis were obsessed with it last night. I couldn't figure out what it was, and they kept on going that same spot.
Okay. So to get it all fixed up?
No. It's a fit issue. They have to... Have you seen it back there? It's all sealed up. Go out and look back. I still didn't hear what you said. What'd you say? I had to stop the camera because he's like, it doesn't matter, but anyway, he was cracking me up. Okay, so, I don't even know. I don't even, this vlog. See, this is where, okay, you know when I was talking about, well, first of all, that conversation went on way too long. That's part of why I stopped it. But you know where I was talking about how, like, I look at the time. I don't even remember what time I started this now. 2:38 or something like that. 2:48. Okay, I don't even remember. But anyway, and I said, it doesn't matter because the camera stopped so many times, the tripod falls, somebody comes up and talks to me, whatever. So, he was going into all this kind of stuff. So, I don't even know how much of this when I stopped filming or whatever. So, his dog was like in the yard and whatever. Is this Laura? Oh, it is Laura. She's got her big headphones on. You can't hear me because you got your big headphones on.
Yeah. They don't have your door finished, do they?
No, they have to come back. It's a sizing issue.
Oh, okay.
I'll explain it to you later.
Okay.
I don't know that I even really understand it yet.
That's fine.
Is your patio done?
No. It's getting there though. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
They were really nice. They like put some wood down out my back sliding door so she could go out.
Yeah.
Because I can't walk her from the street into the yard because of the fence.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see it from the backyard? Our
Yeah.
patio door?
Yeah, like all boarded up.
Yeah, it looks nice, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it looks great.
All right, have a good one. It's literally just like two of these big planks of wood, and then they put this like foam stuff around it. I don't even know when I stopped filming it. Okay, so, but this is why I never know how long I've vlogged for, because like it stopped so many times. Anyway, I was gonna actually stop it and talk to her for a second. I thought, no, let's just push through it. So anyway, so yesterday when they're doing the door, the guy right next door, like literally 5 feet away, they're working on our patio. And so the guys back there were like talking to each other and stuff like that. It just was kind of funny. It was like a lot going on yesterday, but we'll get to that in just a second. So I don't know if this was filmed or not, but like last night, Walter and Otis kept on pulling me every time I would take them. They kept on pulling me to this one area that they never go to in the yard, okay? And it was like a line from like the mailbox to the tree. But they would like kind of go along this line, and they were just like frantic, like back and forth, you know, and they're like pulling me. And I'm like, what is going on? And so I like had my flashlight out. Well, there's leaves there, so you can't really see. And they're like digging in the leaves and stuff like that. I'm like, what is going on? So it's like this. I can't remember what time. Second or third time I brought him out here. I think the second time. I like got right down with the flashlight, and I was like, oh, there's popcorn. Well, then I'm like, why is there popcorn out here? Like, I didn't connect. And then I was like, I remembered this one guy that was out here, like, when he was, like, kind of, like, directing things. And he was standing there. I thought he was eating chips, but he must have been eating popcorn. And so as he was walking, I don't know if it was just, like, kind of, like, I don't know. But anyway, so because their dog was going crazy. But then I was trying to explain to him a little bit of, like, what was going on at the door. And then he was telling me about, because I've been talking to them about, because they have like with the invisible fence. We actually paid for it too, because we were going to put like, have Boo and Tucker and Pee-Pee on it. And then I was like, no, they're too small. I didn't want to do that. It was just like easier to bring them out here and stuff like that. I mean, they would go out back a lot. But so he's talking about like how we're not going to do the invisible fence with Walter and Otis. But he was talking about like the invisible fencing and things like that, and like all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of a little, oh, that bird that looks like a woodpecker is out there. I'm a little weird about the invisible fence with, I just don't love the collar on little dogs and stuff like that. That's just me. I just, you know, whatever, do you if you do that. But I'm just not super comfortable with that. But anyway, there's two of them out there. And they're like blue and gray. There's literally two in this tree, you guys. There's no way. They're so beautiful. I want to turn it. Oh my God. And they have red on the back of their neck. My neighbor is standing like right on the other side of the tree. So I can't turn the camera around and show you. But anyway, he was telling me about how he had talked to her and how they're going to like, because he does all the wiring and stuff for it. So he was like, we're going to rewire it so that like Otis and Walter can like go out there and run around and whatever. And then like directly behind our house is like, anyway, so that they can run back and forth and the dogs can go through it. So anyway, it's this whole thing. Because now it's like from Laura's yard back to over to like the yard next to the one person over. It's like, that's where it goes. And so he was explaining to me about like how they're going to rewire it and stuff like that, so that they're going to bring this in like closer so it doesn't go as far into Laura's yard and stuff like that. But anyway, so we were talking about that, and then what did he get me laughing about? Well, I had asked, anyway, he was telling me about their sliding glass door and stuff like that. And when they had it installed, because I was telling him about the fit issue. It's like everybody that I talk to seems to understand that. They're like, oh, he was telling me something very similar happened to that, having it custom made. And he was like, yeah, ours was custom made. And when they came out here, it was like this fit issue as well. And I was like, I thought it would be just kind of like a one and done. So apparently that is not the case. So anyway, okay, let's talk about, now I'm hot. Whew. There's a lot going on in this neighborhood. We're gossiping. Oh, these birds are so pretty. I wish she was closer. If I walk over there and try to film it. You know when I talk about just being part of the universe? Okay, do you hear the dog barking, like in the distance? Which is interesting because, like, I now know some, like, the dogs, well, definitely their dogs, I know. And so, I have a video of, well, I have two videos. I have one, Walter, like, barks in his sleep, like, when he's dreaming. And I also have a video of him, like, standing at the window, barking the other night. It's really, really cute. Like, she's, like, if I turn the camera around, like, the tree is there, and then she's in her garden. You guys could, I'm not putting her on camera. But there's these two birds, and I don't know what they are. They're not woodpeckers, because the last time I said that they were woodpeckers, somebody said they're not woodpeckers. They look like, I guess somebody said that they're like a certain kind of cardinal. They're like grayish blue, and they have like white on their back, and then right here is like red. They're so pretty, and there's two of them. They keep on going around the tree. But if I go over there and I try to take a video, if I get close, try to take a video of them, I know they'll fly away. They're literally sitting like this on the branch, you guys. Oh my God, they're so pretty. So sometimes, like, when I sit out here and I, like, do my meditations and stuff, I'll read my meditations or while I'm doing my prayers or whatever, and then I'll just kind of sit here. It's so crazy, like, the things that you hear. Like, just even hearing, like, I can sit here and I can literally hear, like, a leaf fall on the ground and stuff like that. Or just, like, certain dogs, like I said, barking in the neighborhood. Like, obviously I know them. But now I even know, like, some dogs that, like, look, like, farther down the street. I'll be like, oh, that's Judy Smith's dog or whatever, you know? Oh, two down. I know her dogs. So her dogs, like, she has a little gated area in front. And so her dogs are always out there. It's so funny because when I bring Walter and Otis out at night, they both, like, it's because she has them out there sometimes late at night. And they'll, like, be, like, at the fence barking. And Walter, and as soon as they, like, start barking, Walter and Otis both go, like... Okay. So, let me see if I can find the video. I have all these screenshots. Right now, Yankee is having a sale, just by the way, Yankee Candles, that if you buy 2 large candles, you get 2 free. Has anybody heard of this show? It's on Acorn TV, but I'm thinking about getting Acorn TV because everybody tells me to. It's called The One That Got Away. It looks really good. Okay. Oh, here it is. Hold on. You can't see it because it's dark, but that's Walter in his sleep. Okay, where's the other one where he's barking? Screenshots of all of these Lifetime movies. Oh, what? Oh, there's my vlog from yesterday that I didn't delete off my phone. Hello, hello, hello. On repeat. Where's the little video? There's the Lifetime movies. Oh, here it is. This is Otis, Walter finding his bark. Now he's not doing it. Maybe this is the other video. Hold on. I thought I had one. Maybe that... I don't know. I have to find it. The other one. He's like... Oh. Otis hasn't found his bark yet, but Walter has found... Well, he's kind of found his bark a little bit. Okay, so let me just tell you about yesterday. So... Yesterday, well, I vlogged really early. Oh, by the way, I just have to say, I love so much that, like, I had people guess what time it was. You all have no faith in me. I'm just going to say. I think Kayla was the only one that, she said like 9:08. I was like, damn, girl. There was like nobody guessed. Everybody was like 4:30, 5. I said it was early. People are like, I thought you meant like early evening. That cracked me up. That cracked me up. I should start doing a guess the time game on every one of my vlogs. But anyway, so, when I got done with the vlog, I can't remember what time it was, but that was like, they had already decided that, you know, they couldn't like do the door thing and whatever, and they were going to have to come out here and do sizing and the anyway. But they had already taken the old window out, okay? And so they don't know, they're hoping that they can get out here in a week or two, right? Okay, so, but they have like all this stuff has to be done. So anyway, so they had to like board it up, okay? Like there's literally like, just these boards and this like foam around it, well, around the bottom of it. I was like really worried about it. I was like, the guy was so nice that did it. And honestly, like, it took, I felt bad. I said to him, I said, I feel bad for you. He's like, it's not your fault. He was like, it's our fault that we didn't get the measurements correctly and we had to like custom build this, you know, and all this, whatever. He's like, and we want you to have, somebody in the comment section last night said, like, when you get that kind of service, I can't remember what you said, but somebody was like, you'd be really happy that they take that kind of, we were very, very happy about it, you know? Like, I mean, I think there's a lot of companies that probably would just install it, or, I don't know, do a crappy job of it. Because it wasn't, this was the thing, it wasn't like, here's the window, and this is the, I mean, it wasn't like, it was very close. But he was like, it's a fit issue, that if, like, stuff moves through the years or whatever, that like in 4 to 5 years you're gonna have to get a new door. And so we're like, okay. So like they took the door out. When they started putting stuff in to see it, it was just a little bit. And so they had to like go and resize stuff, and they're gonna have to figure out how to rebuild around it. Anyway, I don't really understand the whole thing, if you want to understand the truth. But I did understand that they had to like put these boards up and put this like, it's like a spray foam, but then it hardens. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay. So I was like, well, it's supposed to be really cold this weekend. And he goes, okay, well, it's going to keep all the, you guys, it was so hot in our house last night. I was like, oh my God, it's so hot in this house. What I didn't realize is that sliding glass door that we have in there is so old that probably all this air seeps underneath it. Well, now that it's closed off with these boards and this foam, like the heat is staying in the condo. So I don't know. This will probably be our toastiest Christmas yet. You know what I'm saying? When they come out here and the patio doors fixed and all this kind of stuff. It's like when I was talking about like seeing the light under the door, and somebody said we just need to get like weather stripping on there, which we do. We need a whole new door is what we need. I mean, this is like the beginning of getting one thing done at a time. We were just kind of like forced to have to do this. But anyway, so here we're getting the patio door. Maybe the basement will be next. We were actually talking about that yesterday. Alex and I were actually talking about like, okay, what's the next redo thing that we want to do and all this kind of stuff. So when we were talking to him, he's like, he had sent like somebody, and they were like waiting for, they didn't bring like the plywood and stuff out here because they didn't think they were going to have to just like seal it up. They thought that they were going to have the job done. Okay. So he was like, we had to go back and get like the plywood and all this kind of, I don't know what he had to do. But anyway, and so like that took like an hour and a half. And then he was like, this is going to take, it's going to be loud, and this is going to take us a while to close it up. They were out here, honestly, yesterday, probably just as long as they would have been out here if they had installed the window. He was super, super nice. I looked at him, at the end, Alex and I were both standing there, I said, I feel really bad that you had to do all this, and they're going to have to come back out here. He's like I said, it's not your fault, right? And I said, I know, but it's like you spent all day doing, like, I mean, it was, like, they did a really nice job putting this wood up. I mean, it looks like a haunted house, but he did a really nice job of it. And secured it in place and stuff with, like, boards behind there, so it's like it can't be taken down and whatever. So anyway, so I said to him, because when he was telling us about, like, they had to go and they had to pick up the plywood and then they were going to come back and stuff like that, and I said, so, like, how long, I said, because I had talked to him earlier, and I was like, you know, about filming yesterday and whatever. And he was like, this is going to probably be mostly afternoon, and it's going to be probably louder than if we had, because we've got to, like, solve, they had, like, what do you call it? That's what they were, like, charging their batteries, and they were, like, plugging in saws, and they had to, like, do the wood and stuff like that to fit the window and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, and I said, okay, so at that point, I just was like, well, I'm not going to film anymore today. I kind of had planned that anyway, but I was like, you know, okay, the woman with the cane, it's not a cane, it's a walking stick. It's like this long, it looks like one of those like walking sticks you buy at like like a fancy country store or something like that. She literally just carries it like this in her hand. Okay, now she's walking with another woman. And it's not even 3:30 yet, and I don't think she's worried about animals or strangers coming up to attack her. So I don't know why she carries this walking stick, but I kind of live for it. But I have to tell you, so she's the village's woman, okay? Like, her husband's the one that goes to the pool and goes, "Oh, thank you, Jesus, for the wonderful water." Okay. I don't think I've ever really, like, I've maybe said a few words to her. She always has such a sour look on her face. I don't know, probably because she's not at the villages anymore. But she never, like, if she walks by, she usually walks by this way. Well, yesterday afternoon, she walked by, and I had Walter Notice out there. And I kind of started turning, because I was like, I mean, most of the people in the neighborhood I know, but I know her name and stuff like that. I think she's getting ready to walk by here with whoever this woman is that she's walking with. But anyway, so she kind of like came over to, she's talking to my neighbor, the gardener. So she came over, and she was like, "Can I pet them?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And so she reached down. Oh, they're picking up leaves. These red leaves. Oh, she just like threw it in the air. Her friend just like picked up one of the red leaves from her tree and she just like threw it in the air. She's like looked up. This is what's so strange, okay, about, I think just people in general. I think when you don't really know someone, you know, like, I can remember when I used to go out, I don't love the resting bee face. I don't think I necessarily have that, but I just always probably, like, when I'm out, I think it's because I'm so socially just anxious and whatever, that I just look like I'm not having a good time. I would just kind of like sit here and be like, and people would come up and they'd be like, "What's wrong?" I'd be like, "Nothing's wrong. Like, I'm listening to music, I'm having a good time." I think it's one of the things I've probably had to fight the most in my life, that people read me wrong when I'm out, because I'm not just like, I mean, sometimes I am, you know, but like, I'm very content to like, just sit there and people watch and listen to music if I'm out or whatever. Like, I'm very good with that, you know? But whenever I do that, whether it's at a wedding or whether it's at a bar, whether it's at, you know, a party, whatever, at least 4 or 5 people come up to me and be like, "Are you okay? You don't seem okay." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm totally fine." I don't know what it is about my face. It's like, I mean, I can remember when Alex and I started dating and we would go out and he would come up to me and be like, "Are you okay? You seem off." And I'm like, "I'm totally fine. Like, I'm good." So you can't really read people, right? Well, I didn't know her. Like, I knew her husband from the pool. I mean, I know her. It's funny, I know her name, but I don't know his. Because people have talked about her to me in the neighborhood before. Nothing bad, but just been like, I would say like the couple that lives in the villages, and they always say her name. I don't know why. But anyway, so she came over to me yesterday. Like I said, she just walks down the street, and she just kind of has like this sour look on her face, and she doesn't ever talk to anybody. She used to ride her bike. Now he rides the bike. And, here's this, it's the woman. She's not walking with her husband, but they've got this little, "How are you?" "Good." They have this little 15-year-old little wiener dog. I just love them so much. And the wife takes like 6 walks a day. They're like my new recent friends that we talk a lot because of the dogs and stuff like that. I always have, do I have them in my pocket right now? The dogs did so many poops today out in the yard. I was like talking to my neighbor, and Otis like went behind me, and she's like, "He's doing more poops." They did like so many poops today out there in the yard. I was kind of proud. You know, that's a problem when that's your proud moment, right? Proud Mary, proud pooping. Anyway, so she came, like, I don't really know her, you know, and she's not somebody, like, when people walk by, usually they see me sitting out here, and they'll be like, they wave their hand, or they'll say hi, or whatever, like, even if there's people I don't really know, and so but she doesn't, she's just, like, eyes on the prize, she just, like, walks down the street, and she just doesn't look. So anyway, so when I was walking out there yesterday, or standing out there yesterday with the dog, she was like, she was walking on the other side of the street, and I was just kind of standing out there and whatever. And Walter and Otis are so sweet. Like, they just sit in the grass, and like when people walk by, they just kind of like walk. I mean, sometimes they get real excited. If they have dogs, they get real excited, but like otherwise they just kind of sit there and watch them walk by. And so she said, "Can I come over and pet them? Are they friendly?" And I said, "Oh yeah, they're super friendly." And so as soon as she started walking over, like I walked over to her, and we started talking. She was so nice, you guys. And I was like, "Now I know you're so-and-so." And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, I'm Peter. And she was like, "Oh, it's really nice to meet you." And I was like, "Yeah, I know your husband from the pool." She was like, "Oh." She said something like, how did she say it? It was so funny. And, but she was so nice. You know, and I think, like, it's interesting because I think a lot of times, like, I think especially in my youth, like, I wouldn't go up to people because like, this is, I wouldn't just say my youth, in my adulthood too. Like, I'll see people and I'll be like, I mean, I don't think she and I are going to be best friends any day, but like, she's super nice. She was very, very nice. We stood out there and talked for a couple minutes. Everybody's always like that in the neighborhood. I mean, my neighbor and I were talking about the weird ones. Of course, there's weird ones in here. People probably think I'm the weird one and she's the weird. I told her, I said, they probably think we're the weird ones out here because I don't care. But anyway, but what was the Janis Joplin quote about? That's what I'm in my head thinking about being weird. Why can't I think of the quote all of a sudden? I've got like 5 Janis Joplin quotes going through my head. It's the weird one. But anyway, you know, I think when I was younger, like, I would see people, like, and I'd be like, oh, I want to be friends with them, and whatever. The social anxiety, and this, it's kind of social anxiety, social awkwardness a little bit. It works 2 ways as I've gotten older. This is going to sound strange. I don't know if anybody relates to this or not. When I was younger, the social anxiety was so bad that I would never go up to anybody. I wouldn't have a friend on this earth if nobody had come up to me and said something to me. That's the true story. Like, I would never. Like, if Tanya hadn't said, stop by the kennel, she and I wouldn't be friends right now. Every friend that I have in my life is because they reached out to me first. That's just the truth. Like, that's who I've been most of my life. As I've worked through it, I would say in the last 10 years, and YouTube has really, really helped me work through a lot of my social anxiety and social awkwardness. In social settings, I almost kind of force myself through it a little bit. So it's almost kind of like a test a little bit. Like, I will almost kind of like force myself to talk to people that I wouldn't normally talk to and whatever. So like in my youth, or if I was at a party, and I was like, well, she looks fun. I'd like to talk to her, but like, oh, she's fun. People that I would want to talk to always equated, like, I was intimidated by them. There was something that I was attracted to, their confidence, or I don't know, their authenticity, or just they seemed fun or whatever. But I was intimidated by that because I felt like I was just a shadow of myself over here. And so I think I wanted to be that, and I couldn't. And so I think that's why, like, when I'm with people that I love, like, I feel safe with, like, I can just kind of, like, come out of my shell. I think that's the whole, like, new thing that they're talking about, like, the extroverted introvert kind of thing. I very much fit that. That when I'm with people that I feel safe with, that I love, that I care about, that I, like, come out of my shell. But almost in social situations today, not always, but like, if I see somebody that, like, let's say, if it was, like, 20 years, 30 years ago, that I would have been like, oh my God, I would love to be friends with them. Like, they seem really fun. They seem really cool and different. Like, 30 years ago, I would never go up to that person. Today would almost kind of be a test. That if I was, like, out at a party or something like that, I would be, like, go up to them and just be like, hey, I really love your hair, or something like that, you know, whatever. And I'll be honest with you, like, to a lot of people, when I start talking to them, I'm real straightforward today with people. Like, if I start talking to somebody, I'll be like, you know, I saw you cross the room and I just thought that you look so cool and I just wanted to come over here and introduce myself. That has really helped me a lot. Just like being like leading always with honesty of like, and people appreciate it. People really do. I'm not going to tell you it's not terrifying for me to do. It is. I can't think of one instance where and maybe it's because I'm older, you know, but like, I can't think of one instance where I've done that. I mean, people that are my age, that's kind of, you know, if you come up to somebody, you go like, I really like your vibe, or you seem really cool, or whatever, like, that's kind of a, you know, a compliment at our age, you know. But anyway, like, I don't think that I've really ever had a situation where I've said that to somebody and they've been like, I've had a lot of people were like, oh my God, you know, like, I thought the same thing, and I'm so glad you came over here and talked to me, or whatever. It's not like I do this all the time. Like, let's just be for real. Like, maybe four times a year or something, you know what I mean? But I don't think I've ever, and those people have ended up becoming friends of mine, but I don't think I've ever, like, it's ever happened where I've had somebody look at me and be like, you're a freak. Like, that's never happened to me, you know? I don't know. I just think that if you meet people with real, they're going to meet you with real too. So, I don't know, like, I walked away yesterday from talking to her and I thought, you know, here I thought she just was like this sour-faced Susan. That's not her name. That's a made-up name. Sour-faced Susan. She didn't like nobody and whatever. And maybe she's just as shy and awkward as I am, you know? And I think that that's a lot of us walking around this world. You know, when I started sharing on here about social anxiety and whatever, oh my God, so many people direct messaged me. So many people commented on my videos and was like, I feel seen. Like, this is how I've dealt with my whole life. Like, it's really, really hard. Like, at periods in my life, we're going to get to the closet in a second. But going through clothes, because I went through a lot of clothes last night. I went through all my clothes last night, actually. Yesterday, not last night. Going through clothes, like I was thinking about this last night. Certain clothes remind me of periods in my life, right? And I was thinking about this because I was going through some things, like some sweaters I had in my past. And they reminded me of like sweaters that I bought specifically for things. I have sweaters that I have like when I was with my ex, Christmas parties and stuff that we would go to, that I can remember putting them on and just being like so critical of myself and just being like, oh my God, you look so fat and you look disgusting. I mean, I beat myself up in my head and was like, everybody's gonna be laughing at you. They're all gonna laugh at you, like from Carrie. But the self-talk in my head was horrible. I have had to do so much work in therapy through that and with my sponsor and stuff like that. It was horrible, the self-talk that I did to myself. Oh my God, it was ruthless. You know, that's why I've said in video, like, I've said worse things about myself to myself in my head than anybody could ever say to me. That's just the truth. And, but like, I had like 2 sweaters last night that I specifically remembered, like, I had bought with my ex. I mean, they're that old. They're like over 20 years old. And I was like, and I remember buying them. Well, the one sweater I remembered buying, and I was really excited about wearing it to this, like, it was like a work Christmas party. And I was really excited about it. And I remember putting it on before we went, and I just thought, you look huge. Like, you look, it was like this turtleneck, like, wool sweater, and I thought I looked like a fisherman, and all this, you know, it just, and I can remember putting it on and just being like, and I was really, really heavy at that time, too. But that was when I kind of, like, started retracting a lot from society. Like, I just stopped showing up to stuff a lot. And a lot of it had to do with my weight. A lot of it was social anxiety, but my weight fed into the social anxiety a lot. And, I remember, well, the sweater, anyway, the sweater, I just was like, I looked at it last night, and I thought, this whole deal with this sweater, like, I was so excited about buying it. Was, the battery just went to the halfway mark. What the hell? I was like, can remember wanting to buy, like, I think it was maybe like, no, the first Christmas party of his at his work, we wore suits. So it would have been the second Christmas party maybe, or maybe third. There was so much energy that we put into buying these outfits to wear to this Christmas party. And, it was his work Christmas party. It was always this big deal. And I can remember being so excited about it and buying a sweater and had this whole look in my head and whatever, and putting it on and being like, you don't look like what you thought. Like, I don't know, it just didn't match. And it was around that same time that my really, really good friend moved to Denver, that I almost ended up moving out there for before I met Alex. Not for him, he and his husband live out there, but like, I was going out there and visiting him a lot. And I don't know that I've ever talked about this on here before, but at that point, I was probably right before the accident, and at that point in my life were the 2 times I've been the heaviest in my life. I don't know, at that point I was like 270, 280 or something like that. And I would not go to anything. I would not go to any parties. I wasn't going to anything social. And in my head I was like, I will not do this. Like, I'm not going to let people see me like this. I'm just not. Like, I was so ashamed of myself, and I really, you know, like, well, anyway, so he had this huge going away party. And I knew it was going to be like, I mean, he had been one of my dear friends for like 10 years. And I knew it was going to be like everybody that I knew. I think that was like, I was the heaviest I had ever been. And I just was like, I remember getting ready for this party. And I was like, I can't go. Like, I cannot go to this party. Like, I just remember I can see myself, like, standing there in the mirror. And I was like, I cannot go to this party. Like, I remember crying. And I was like, this is so ridiculous that it's even bringing up this emotion today. But, like, we talk about body image and things like that. Like, I just remember, the camera stopped. I can just remember being like, I can't go to this thing. Like, I cannot do this. Like, I refuse to put myself in a situation where people are going to look at me and be like, I mean, I hadn't seen some of these people in 5 years. And I had put on literally like 100 pounds. And I was like, they're going to look at me and be like, damn. Like, damn. You know? I was like, no, I'm not putting myself in that situation. And I didn't end up going to the party. And he was so upset about it. He was so upset about it. And I remember the next day he called me. And he was like, do you think I give a damn about your weight or how much weight you've put on? He goes, I love you. And he said, and I wanted you here. I mean, he forgave me and he understood and whatever. I mean, he was always like, he was at the gym 8 days a week. And I mean, he still looks fantastic today and he's 5 years older than me. But it was around that time that I realized I was missing out on life because of my weight. And it really, really fed into my social anxiety a lot. Because my social anxiety was me constantly worrying about what somebody was saying about me or what they thought about me and my weight and blah, 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 whatever. I can't even believe I haven't got into talking about yesterday. I got so much to talk about with yesterday that I did. But anyway, I was in my head. I was constantly in my head about... You can talk about bullying. I bullied myself like nobody's business. I bullied myself like nobody's business. The self-talk that I did to myself, putting myself down about how I looked, and I mean, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And, you know, I remember it was interesting because I think it was like, I don't know who said this to me. If you still watch my vlog, I just want to say thank you to because you forever changed me. But it was like year 1 or 2 of me vlogging, and Alex and I were going on a trip. I don't remember where we were going. Mexico or Miami or something. But I was talking about how heavy I was. And I was talking about how, like, I was just going to wear, like, a t-shirt on the beach. And I was, like, super ashamed of myself because of my weight and all this kind of stuff. And I'll never forget that somebody commented on my video. And they said something like, I mean, this is literally, like, 7 or 8 years ago. And they said... Nobody's looking at you anyway, which I don't necessarily believe is true. I do think people look at you, but it doesn't matter because you don't know them anyway. But I'm just being real about it, okay? I mean, I've worked this scenario through my head a million times. But that person said, go on the trip, have a great time with your husband, don't worry about what you look like, and don't wear a t-shirt on the beach because just be comfortable and go free. And I'll never forget that whole trip. That was kind of like my mantra in my head because somebody had commented on my video. I was like, I don't even know who said that to this day. I was so, if you want to sound off and be like, I said that. But I'll never forget they said that. I talked about it afterwards on the vlog. I was like, it was so helpful. But you know, like slowly what I really realized was, because of my social anxiety and because of my weight, I was really not allowing myself to do a whole lot of anything in my life. Okay, so yesterday I went through my entire closet. We'll get to that in just a second. But I was looking through clothes and whatever, and I was like looking at stuff, and I came upon like a shirt of mine, the shirt that I wore to our wedding. And it fits, but it's a little tight on me, okay? What's weird about that is I can remember being at our wedding and me not even wanting, I mean, all of our friends and family that were out there and stuff like that at the Cosmopolitan, we were like going to the pool every day, like, you know, leading up to the wedding, like the 2 days before the wedding and stuff like that. And I can remember saying to Alex, like, I don't want to go to the pool. I don't want anybody to see me like without a shirt at the pool. And Alex was like, well, then just don't get in the water, just like wear a t-shirt. I was like so uncomfortable being around all these, like a lot of these people, like I had never been like topless, shirtless with them before, you know, like I was really uncomfortable about it. I mean, they were friends of ours that like, but they weren't people that like I would be at a pool with, you know, and I was really uncomfortable about it. I'm probably 2 pounds heavier now than I was when we got married. I mean, I was going on a beach 40, 60 pounds plus heavier than I am now. I missed out on a lot because I allowed my weight to control things around me. I missed out on a lot. There were a lot of things I wouldn't show up for. There were a lot of things I wouldn't do. There were a lot of things I missed out on because I was so worried about it. Doesn't matter. People are going to say something, people aren't going to say something, and none of it has anything to do with you. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. It says more about them than it does you. And I had to learn that the hard way. You know, and I sometimes look at like, I think about some of the times that, you know, this is the truth. Like, the heaviest I've ever been and the thinnest I've ever been, I don't know that that ever determined my happiness. Truly. Does being healthier today and being thinner allow me to like enjoy my walks and walking up and down 100%. Like I feel healthier today. But from a happiness, and that leads to me being happier. But when I look in the mirror, no, I still have body dysmorphia today, even having lost a lot of weight. It's really like, I look in the mirror, it's not that I have less criticism, I have different criticism today. So it's not like it really ever goes away. You know, I don't know. And I think about that a lot. And I think, I don't know whatever got me to the point where, and I've talked a lot about this in therapy, I've been every scale. I mean, I can remember when I was working in treatment, and I was running every day, and I was like barely eating. That was, you know, whatever. And I'll never forget, this woman came up to me and she said, "You've been losing a lot of weight." And I said, "Yeah, like I'm running every day." I was running like 5 to 7 miles a day, lifting weights every day in the gym and stuff like that. And she said, "You know, you looked really good for a while, but you're looking too thin now." And I can remember going back, and she was also a woman that had made a comment to me about my weight when I was heavy. And I remember going back to my supervisor, and my supervisor said, "Where have we gotten in society where we think that it's okay to comment about somebody's weight like that, you know?" And I can just remember thinking, like, I don't know that, like, my weight has ever dictated my happiness. It's my acceptance of my body at that moment, you know? I've had really, really great times at 280 and really, really great times at 180. You know, I don't know what to say. I don't know that any of it dictated my happiness. I think my mental health, my mental state, what I was willing to work on at that time, acceptance of that had a lot to do with it. But, you know, when I look back on it, we talk a lot about, you know, I watch a lot of YouTube videos where people are talking about, like, you know, how to help. I did a weight loss journey, and I talk about, oh, this is what I'm doing, and this is what the personal trainer and the nutritionist said, and all that kind of stuff. I think instead of, like, what's really been helpful to me is in therapy, working on it, talking to my sponsor about food addiction, stuff like that. And what I really, really realized is, and I'm not talking about weight on a scale or measurements and things like that. I'm talking about, like, how we feel when we look at ourselves, or how we feel when we put on certain clothes or whatever. I don't know that that's ever dictated happiness for me. Do I feel better about myself sometimes when I wear certain things or I feel a certain way? 100%. But does that make me happy? No. I think the lie I've been sold is, if you're thinner, you will be happy. There's been a lot of points in my life where I was heavy and I was happy. I wasn't healthy, but I was real happy. So that lie that I fixated, you know, I mean, I've made really great money and I've made shit money, and I don't know that that dictated my happiness. I think happiness is really acceptance of being grateful for what you have. You know, I learned a prayer when I first got sober from a friend. My friend said he came up with this prayer. I don't know if he did or not, but it's, "God, help me to want what I already have." And I think that's really the trick to it, you know? Anyway, I didn't plan to go on and talk about all that kind of stuff. I'm probably going to have to go get another battery here in a second, because, you know what, let me go get another battery now, because I want to get into what I did yesterday. But anyway, I hope that little conversation was helpful to at least one person out there, because I went on forever. I went on forever about that. I don't even know what I'm going to take my box of coffee in, and then when I come in, I've got a lot to tell you guys about yesterday. Yesterday was such a good day, even though, like, the door thing happened. I don't know, I just, like, I was like, you know what? Because he was like, it's going to be really, really loud. I was like, you know what? I can't film no video. Because then I got in my head. I was like, get out on the front porch, film videos, blah, 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 whatever. I was like, no, you need to take the day off. I did take the day off, kind of. But Alex and I got so much stuff done around the house. So I'm going to share that with you when I come back. So I will be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. Alex is sitting in the kitchen with the dogs. I went inside. I was like, what's going on? He's like, I'm thinking I want to go get a snack. I was like, okay, like, what kind of snack are you wanting to go get? He's like, I don't know, I just want to go to the store and get some snacks. And I said, okay. I said, can I finish vlogging first? Because I might want to go get a snack. He was like, yeah, how much longer? I said, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. I said, I want to talk about what I was doing yesterday. So he's sitting literally in there right now, like, in the chair on his phone. The dogs are running around. Anyway, I took my box of coffee in and I put it in the closet. I was like, look at my new box of coffee. Who is texting me? Okay, so yesterday I was like, so what am I gonna do? And okay, by the way, I just wanna say, a couple people have commented on this coat, and, like, I either need to, like, zip it up all the way. First of all, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's not comfortable. And then other people are like, you need to either unzip it or zip it up all the way, because you constantly are messing with it. I like to play with it. I know it's driving some of you crazy. It's like when I would chew gum back in the day on the vlogs. Do you guys remember that when I would drive around and chew gum? Oh my God, there'd always be like 1 or 2 people that drove them crazy. They'd be like, can you stop chewing gum? Nobody said that about this. Nobody was like that. But there'd always be like 1 or 2 people would be like, can you stop chewing gum? I am such a gum chewer. I am so, like, cologne and gum, like, I always carry, like, the Chanel Blue, like, atomizer, like, in my bag. And gum I always have on me. 2 things I am so weird about, okay? Breath and smelling good. Like, I am so weird about it. Like, I'm not even going out on the street to talk to my neighbors without, like, fresh breath. No, I'm telling you, I just don't. I'm, like, weird about that. I brush my teeth, like, 10 times a day. I am so weird about that. I don't want to just dump it, nobody with some funky breath, okay? But anyway, so yesterday, I was like, I'm trying to think of like how it all started. So I went in, like, after I got done vlogging and stuff like that, and they were like waiting for the plywood and all this kind of stuff. I said to Alex, I started rendering the vlog, and then I was like, I came out here and I finished like reading a little bit of the Kindle, and then I was like, this is gonna take like most of the afternoon. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? So while I was waiting, because I was like, this can't, they're gonna bring the wood out here and they're gonna be like, boom, 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 boom. They're gonna be done, right? So I was like, I'll work in the kitchen, because then they'll be like down here, whatever. Our entire back, I mean, it looked like they were building like a sunroom out there. Okay, do you know where the window is, the sliding glass door? It's gone. It's gone, you guys. Okay, so like you could literally walk from our living room right out into the patio, which was funny because the guys that were working on Laura's patio back there, they were like sitting out there. Well, her patio extends farther than ours does, so they were like leaning out there. So they were like, you could just walk in and out. They were so nice, and they were talking to guys that were working on our thing too. So anyway, I mean, it was kind of funny. It was, but I will say this, like, we could never get it approved in the HOA. This is like a serious HOA thing, okay? Like, it was so hard for them to get their sunroom. Like, nobody will ever be getting no build-out sunrooms in here again, or what, a 3-season room. But it would be so nice. Like, my mom wanted to, like, enclose her patio and just have it all open. Oh, my God. With that, when it was, like, it was open like this, you guys. Like, you could literally walk from, like, where our TV was right onto the patio. I mean, it's gone. The window's gone. And so we were walking in and out yesterday and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I was like, this would add so much space to our house. It would be so nice if we could never get approved. The HOA is never going to approve that. They just aren't. There's like that's like a big deal in this neighborhood. Like, and what happened was all the people that were on the board, they got build outs. They're called build outs, I guess. They got build outs, and then they put that, because it's so, like, it takes so much time and it's so loud in the neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I was standing in the kitchen. I can't remember what Alex was doing. Oh, Alex was working. He was doing work on the computer in the corner. And so I was like, I've been wanting to do this for a while. Oh, I was so mad yesterday. Well, not mad, but what I found. So we have like 3 cabinets in the kitchen. One has like Alex's like wine glasses and like other stuff in there. We have like some glasses of my mom, some like Christmas glasses, and these like metal goblets that my mom used to use. And we have not used these in ever, right? And so we have that cabinet, and then where the coffee cups are, I have like some coffee, like I went through them a while ago, and then I was like, I need to go through these coffee cups. I mean, I have like literally like the plastic Turvis ones. I have some of them that are so stained that I was like, they just need to go. And like I have repeats, like I have like 4 like white cups that I bought as like a 4-pack off of Amazon. I was like, I don't need 4 of them. I only need 1. Like these like blue ones, I was like, I only need like, I have 4 of those. So I was like, I'm going through this because I also want to bring down my Christmas cups, because I have Halloween cups and I have Christmas cups. Okay. So I go to my Christmas cups, of which I have like 2 or 3 Christmas cups, but they're already, I'm not talking about the red plaid ones. I'm talking about ones that have like, I have one that has the Rudolph characters on it, and I have one that has like a Christmas set. They're pretty, pretty Christmas cups. You know, I like, the plaid ones are what I really like. So I go to get, they're above the microwave. Okay, that's where I like exchange them out for the Halloween ones. I go in there, and there's 3 Halloween cups that are really, really cute that I never brought down from last year. Another one says Hey Boo on it too. I have the Boo one that I bought this year, and then another one says Hey Boo on it last year. I was like, oh my God. I forgot, they're so cute. I must have used them last year, but anyway. So I put the Halloween ones away. Then I took every cup down from 3 rows of cups in the cabinet. I took every cup down, and then I like dusted out the cabinets and everything like that. So on the top is all of like these and like the metal cups, like the one that I just bought, the metal cups, I love those. Then the next row is all of my like clay cups, the artsy ones, the ones that are real pretty. And then Alex had made me like a coffee bar where he has like cups that hang up, and so it was so nice of him to do that. And so I have like areas for like 6, I think 8 mugs over there. So I hung the 4 matching Pendleton cup. I have the Pendleton mugs. I got them from Costco. I love them. And then I put 3 of like my mom's cups over there. And then the bottom row or of the cabinet is all like the Tervis and plastic and cups like that. It is so organized. And I have tons of space because I got rid of about 20 mugs last night, maybe 30. I've got to go donate. So I've got place for more mugs. Now I can buy more mugs, see? Okay. And I usually stack them on top of each other. I didn't even do that. So I did that. And so Alex was like, what are you doing? I was like, blah, 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 whatever. And he was like, oh, maybe I'll clean out like my cabinet. So he was like, because like, that's where he keeps like his wine glasses and stuff like that. I was like, okay. And so then he brought out a lot of the glasses in there were my mom's, like goblets and stuff like that I had kept that just like had memories in mine. So I was like, so he brought all that stuff out there and he was like, do you want any of this? And I said, the only thing I really want is like, there were sets of 4. And then he had like 6 wine glasses in there or something like that. I said, the only thing I really want is like one of these glasses of my mom's just from like a memory kind of view. And so he texted Caroline's son and his girlfriend because they bought this house. And so he was like, they're getting new stuff for it. It was really cute. Like one of it is like all like Christmas glasses. They're really, really cute Christmas glasses. My Aunt Kathy had the exact same ones. And so, and these metal goblets that are beautiful. They look like something that you'd see like in like the old times, you know, like castles and stuff like that. And so he like texted me, he's like, do you guys want this stuff? And they said, yeah. So he was like finding a box for that. He cleaned out the whole cabinet. So when he was like, I'm going to clean out the stuff in the kitchen. He was doing all kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go. One of my goals this week was to start on the closet. And my goal was, I'm in between stuff being too tight and stuff being way too big on me. I mean, like 2XL stuff will not fit on me anymore. And I would say probably half of my closet is 2XL stuff. Maybe more than that. And then a lot of the stuff that I'm wearing is just folded and sitting on the laundry or sitting on the ironing board in the basement. Because I just wash a load, whatever. So I don't really have a lot of clothes right now that fit comfortably. Plus I have this whole row of vintage shirts, probably like 40 vintage shirts that are like button-ups that I haven't tried on in forever that I needed to go through and see. Like, I had tried some of them on, but I was like, I need to go through all of my hanging shirts. So I was like, I gotta finish this, I gotta get these Thursday Murder Club books done. You know, I was gonna walk, so my walk ended up happening later after I got all this stuff done. So I was like, I got to, Alex also told me that he was going over his friend's house at 6. This was earlier in the day. And so I was like, oh, I thought that was tomorrow night. And he's like, no, it's tonight. We're going over there at 6, and then I'm gonna go hang out with my friend. She was going over there too. So they went to some place to have dinner last night, and then they went over to her house. He was like, do you care? I was like, no, I'm just going to sit here and watch TV. I'm going to take a walk and stuff like that. So he, while he was downstairs to work on the kitchen, I was like, I'm going to put my AirPods in. I said, I'm going to put my AirPods in case you shout out to me, and I'm going to start work on the closet. You guys. Alex is texting me something. He may need me to go inside in a second. I cleaned out the entire closet. I tried on everything last night, unless it was a 2XL, then I just put it. I have 7 bags of clothes to donate, you guys. 7 bags of clothes. I went through the entire closet. I cleaned out, I have a basket of all my Birkenstocks, basket of all I have everything. I mean, you should see my closet, you guys. It is like impeccable. I have a row of all my pants that fit. I have a row of all my comfy pants that fit. I've got all my sweaters down there. I went through the boxes in the basement. Every box of clothing in the basement is gone through and done. This is my favorite neighbors. Well, there they are.
And you've got a blanket on.
I got a blanket on. I know.
Did you watch the IU football game?
Of course I did not. Why would you even ask me something like that?
They won.
Is that why you have your red coat on? Well, guess what? It's about to get a whole lot colder tomorrow and Monday.
I know. I'm convinced you just won't see me.
I know, I'll see him, but I won't see you.
Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody. Have a good one.
Stay warm.
I will. So I took literally, it took me 2.5 hours. Everything in that closet came out. I tried on everything. Every hoodie, every t-shirt, every short. I took out everything. The basement, all my hanging clothes in the basement, all the coats, tried everything. All the hoodies, tried everything. Boxed up all my shorts and bathing suits, gave Alex some stuff that he was like, I was like, this is never gonna fit me anyway because it's too small for me. Gave him some stuff in the closet. All that stuff I had gone through, I washed all of it last night. I was doing loads of laundry. That closet has never looked so good. But I might need a few more things because I got like 3 pairs of jeans that fit, like 2 pairs of cords, a pair of khaki, and a pair of blue shorts, pants. So I need some more pants. Sweaters and hoodies I am definitely good on. I don't need any hoodies. T-shirts I'm pretty good on. All my concert t-shirts fit really good now and stuff like that. So I was so excited. That took me a long time. And I finished the Thursday Murder Club, the second book. And I started the third one and I got halfway through it last night. Did that. And I took my walk last night. What else did we do? There was something else I wanted to add to my list. And I did an 1.5 vlog. Hold on, where's my things to do this weekend? Okay, what else did I do? Because I was like so proud of all the things I want to tell you. So I finished the audiobook. That was one of my goals this weekend. Started the third one, halfway through the third one. Oh, and watched Amazing Race, Matlock, Elsbeth, Ghost, got caught up on all my shows except for Below Deck, and finished season 2 of Karen Perry, and started All Her Fault on Peacock. I'm halfway through this season. You guys, this show, it's about a kidnapping. So I just want to, if that stuff triggers you, I just want to say, but this show is unbelievable. So it's about a woman. It literally starts off this way. Dakota Fanning's in it too. But this woman goes to pick up her son for a play date. He's 5. And she goes to this house and she's like, yeah, I'm here to pick up my son for a play date. And you're the nanny. And she's like, the woman looks at her and goes, I don't know who you are. I've never heard of you before. It's about a kidnapping. You guys, I binge watched 4 episodes last night. I was going to start a BritBox show, but I was like, no. Tanya, she binge watched the whole thing in one day. Everybody is talking about this show. It's called All Her Fault. The main woman that stars in it, I think she's like an Australian actress. I have never seen, I was like, she looks so familiar to me. Love her. Love her so. But you like, when you're watching it, you have no idea what's going on. But I have to tell you, like, UK television has completely ruined TV for me because even as I'm watching it, like, it is so good, but it has got nothing on these British TV shows. Like, I was like, I'm like, this is good. And this is really good. But even, like, the acting's good and stuff like that. But even the story, like, there was one part of it I was watching and I was like, British TV has totally screwed television for me because British TV is just so good. The acting is so good. The writing is so good. So I did all that last night. Took the dogs out about 50 times. Changed the linens. Oh my God. Oh, changed out. So I have a basket in the corner of the room where I keep like my summer like Birkenstocks and slides and stuff like that. Put all those in the closet. Brought out my clogs and my Birkenstocks for fall and winter. Put all of my socks in a basket in the closet. Lined up all of my hats. You guys, you should see my closet. Now I can just go in there and pick out all these. And I also know there is not one thing in my closet. Like the things, I had to get rid of so many things. I was like, these are never going to fit. I will tell you what makes me kind of sad, though, is I had a pair of these jeans called nudie jeans, and for years, I mean, I probably had them for 20 years. I never wore them. They were like my motivational jeans, and I was like, one day I'll wear them. I cannot find those jeans anywhere. I must have got them. Must have got rid of them at one point and been like, you're never going to fit in these jeans. I've been looking for them, so I was like, well, maybe I can fit in these jeans now. So anyway, yeah, I got so much stuff done yesterday. Got all my TV shows caught up on. Watched TV shows last night. Read a lot in my Kindle yesterday. Oh my God, it just was like, it was a perfect day. I was kind of like towards like when Alex, like he took a shower and then he like got dressed and stuff to go. And I was like, I kind of feel bad. Like I should have just like relaxed, but I was like, you did relax, you know, like you got to listen to this audiobook and that was great. And I don't know, just look at, Tanya and I were talking about it last night because she's been doing a lot of cleaning too. And she goes, I feel like I'm nesting for winter. I go, that's exactly what it is. So today my goal for today is the basement. So the laundry area of the basement too. Like the ironing board had my clothes like folded on it. All those clothes are in the closet now. I've been doing like load after load of laundry, so we have like literally no laundry. The hanging rack in the basement is completely clear, except for like 1/4 of it has some coats on it down there. So it's completely clear. I have all my shorts and swimsuits boxed up, but only the ones that still fit. So all that stuff is away, so I can just go in the closet. Kind of like one of those bikes. It's like not a moped, not a motorcycle, but like a motorized bike. But I can just go in the closet and I can be like, I want to wear this, and I want to wear this. I'm so excited about it. So today my goal is to go to the store and get some snacks with Alex. And my goal is to also, either today or tomorrow, if I don't get it done, I'm like, I got so much stuff done yesterday. You should see our kitchen. Oh my God, Alex cleaned out like 2 cabinets. I cleaned out like 2 cabinets. We wiped it all down. In that corner, we got rid of a bunch of stuff, put a bunch of stuff away that we don't use, rearranged stuff. It looks so nice in the kitchen. We got so much stuff done. So I would really, really like to clean down the vanities and stuff in the upstairs bathroom today. But if that doesn't get done, that can wait till the beginning of the week. And then tonight, I think he's just going to watch TV shows. We might watch a movie or something like that together. He has no plans tonight except for getting snacks. And then I am going to, at some point when he goes to bed or whatever, if we watch movies and shows together, we've got The Housewives to catch up on. I am going to finish All Her Fault. And then I'll probably watch some Below Deck too. I'd really like to get caught up on Below Deck before Monday. And then this week, Sister Wives Monday, I need to do an episode or 2 of Welcome to Plathville. I've got to get that done. And I felt really good about getting the Thursday Murder Club book done, the second one, because now I'm into the third one. I like the third one. The second one was okay. It was very confusing to me. There was a lot of different storylines going on. It was really long, too. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was great. But it wasn't, I liked the first one much better. But I was feeling like, oh, this is so overwhelming. I've got all these Alex Cross, James Patterson books to read, and I have all these Thursday Murder Club books to read, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to get them all done and listened to by the end of this month. And I think I'm going to be able to do it. So listen to that. So if I clean, and then if I also take my walk tonight, then I can listen to the audiobook too. So I don't know, I might finish 2 audiobooks this weekend. And maybe a Kindle book. And maybe a physical copy book. Lots of reading this weekend. And then I'm going to water the ferns again. I'll probably do that as soon as I get done vlogging, so that they can dry out a little bit. And then I'm going to take them inside later tomorrow, or later tonight, because I don't, to the bathtub. Bye, ladies and gentlemen. Jasper Mall. So, that's my day. What are you guys doing this weekend? Are you guys having a good weekend? Yesterday was such a good day. Like, even though I was cleaning and doing stuff like that, like when it was all said and done, I kind of just laid on the bed and I was looking in the closet, and my I mean, it's always clean in there, but I was my rows of t-shirts and everything looked so nice. I was like, I feel so good about that. I'm nesting for winter. I'm ready. Bring on the snow. Bring on the winter. Anyway, it feels good. And I all the pantry clean. The coffees are all orderly. I've got my drawers. I don't know. I just it feels, Tanya and I were talking about that last night. We were talking about because she's like, yeah, I think I'm nesting. I said, I think I am too. And I just having everything be so orderly. Our laundry area in the basement, oh my God, you should see, it is so orderly now. We got the laundry detergent lined up. We got the dryer sheets lined up next to the dryer. Got the laundry baskets on the floor, to move one thing to the next. Yep, nesting. Nesting like the birds outside. And, those birds went away. I wonder where they went. Now I'm ready for winter. And all my British crime shows this winter. I've added literally 15 or 20 shows. It's madness. Anyway, let me know what you're doing in the comment section below. I think this is another long vlog. Have I done 2 long vlogs today? Well, back in the day I used to vlog for an hour and a half every day. This seems short to me today. But back in the day I used to do hour and a half vlogs every day. But yesterday was an hour and 38 minutes. I think this is maybe an hour and 10 or 15 minutes. I don't know how long it's been. But anyway, I'm going to get off here now. So I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. Let me know what you're doing in the comment section below this weekend. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.